security mechanisms. In last I told about security service, where the security service will provide some policies, security policies. To implement that security policies, we have to follow some security mechanisms, some technique we have to apply, that is called as security mechanisms. The mechanisms are divided into those that are implemented in specific protocol layer, such as TCP or an application layer protocol, and those that are not specific to any particular protocol layer or security services. Now, depending on these two factors, that is, some security mechanisms are belonging to protocol layers, TCP or application layer, and some security mechanisms are not belonging to a protocol layer. Depending on that one, we categorize into two types. The first one is called as specific security mechanisms. In specific security mechanisms, we have encipherment, digital signature, access control, data integrity, authentication exchange, traffic padding, routing control, notarization. The second part is called as pervasive security mechanism. In pervasive security mechanisms, the first one is trusted functionality, security label, event detection, security audit trail, and security recovery. Now we will study one by one in detail about these security mechanisms. Now, the first one is called specific security mechanisms. These may be incorporated into the appropriate protocol layer in order to provide some of the OSI security services. These are actually mechanisms which are depending on the protocol of the OSI model. Okay, these already mentioned here. Now the first one is called as encipherment. This is the process of using mathematical algorithm to transform the data into form that is not readably intelligible. The transformation and subsequent recovery of the data depend on an algorithm and 0 or more encryption keys. In simple way, encipherment means your data is converted into, scrambled into unreadable format. If you have written one message, I scrambled that message and transmitted over a network, then it is called as encipherment. The middle persons cannot see that message, but at the receiver, he recover back to the original message and read the message. How it is possible? That is possible by using some mathematical algorithms. These mathematical algorithms transform your actual data into encrypted data. For this encryption, or to use the mathematical formula, we need sometimes 0 or more number of encryption keys. By using that encryption keys, we encrypt the data. The next one is called as digital signature. This data or cryptographic transformation of data units is appended to the data so that the recipient of the data unit is convinced of the source and integrity of the data unit, and this can also serve to protect the data against forgery. Example by recipient. Digital signature means this type of mechanisms are used to protect the data integrity. If somebody try to modify the data, you are sending some data and the third person try to modify the data in between, you have to detect. The receiver has to detect that the data is modified. It is not the actual data which is sent. That he has to detect. That is done by digital signature. with actual data, some data units is appended. The data units is actually depend on your actual data. What I am telling to say here is digital signature means from your actual data you are creating some data units. A cryptographic transformation is done on the data and create some data units, and that data unit is added to the actual data and send it to the receiver. The receiver checks the cryptographic data unit. If any modification is done, it is known to the receiver by using this code, data unit code, and verifies whether the data is modified or not. That is the use of digital signature. The next one is called as access control. A variety of mechanisms are available that enforces access right to resources. How to access the resource? There are many mechanisms are available that is given by access control. Data integrity means a variety of mechanisms may be used to access the integrity of the data unit or stream of data units. These are some of the techniques available for data integrity. Authentication exchange. This is a mechanism intended to ensure the identity of an entity by means of information exchange. This mechanism will be checked for authentication exchange. Whether both parties are authenticated or not, that information is to be exchanged in a proper manner. That is done by these security mechanisms. The next one is called as traffic padding. The insertion of bits into gap in a data stream is called traffic padding. This helps to the traffic analysis attempts. Okay, now what is the meaning of traffic padding here? Along with your data, actual data, some additional bits are added to the message and send it to the receiver. Now, why this padding will be done? I told some hackers or some persons, they can't read your data because the data is encrypted, but is try to analyze it. What type of messages transmission is going on in between? That is, he tried to access. Okay, to overcome that problem, to disguise which type of information you are sending, to disguise some additional information, additional bits are added to your data and send him. Then the person will be confused. Okay, what is the actual data you are sending? He may got confused. Okay, to do such, to prevent it from analyzing, okay, we are using traffic padding. Traffic padding will be done. Routing control. Routing control enables selection of particular physical secure routes for certain data transmission and allow routing changes, especially when a breach of security is suspected. For example, see, here the sender is actually sending the data and this is the receiver which is receiving the data. Now between there is the internet is there, so he is taking some route and send that message to the receiver. There are number of routers are here. There are number of routers. Using that routers, he will send the data to the receiver. What happens? Sometimes the intermediate person just try to access this information from this router. Now here we have to identify somebody is just listening or eavesdropping our information. So in that case, the sender has to change the route immediately so that the middle person cannot get the message here. If this is again it is hacked by the user hacker, he is to use the different route. Means he has to identify which route is safe, which route is not safe. That is done here. Okay, that is called as routing control. Routing control will decide on which route the message has to be transferred so that the third person cannot capture the data. It is continuously monitor that one. Notarization. Notarization means the use of trusted third party. Sometimes we are using some third party software or third party service to assure certain properties of a data exchange. We are giving a security to our data. Whenever we are doing some data exchange, the security will be provided by some trusted third parties. So that is called as notarization. Next one is called as the preservative security mechanisms. In this type of mechanisms, this type of security mechanism is not belonging to any particular OSI layer of the protocol. These are trusted functionality, security label, event detection, security audit trial, security recovery. And all these mechanisms are not belonging to any of the OSI protocol. First one is trusted functionality. The process that which is perceived to be correct with respect to some criteria established by some security policy. The next one is security label. This is the technique of making of a bound to a resource, which may be a data unit, that names or designates the security attributes of that resource. Next one is event detection. Detection of security related events such as forgery, denial of sending or receiving of data, alteration of data, etc. is another important essential mechanism. Next one is security audit trial. Data can be collected and potentially used for facilitate a security audit, which is an independent review and examination of the system records and activities. If any activity will be created during network transmission, all the activity specifically which will attack, the activity done by the attackers has to be recorded in a log, so that if any attack occurs, we have to do some analysis. What type of attack will be done, what type of data will be lost, all has to be recorded, all has to be analyzed. In that case, we have to do some activity record. We need some activity record. That is called security audit trial. Security recovery. This deals with request from mechanisms such as event handling and management functions and takes recovery actions. These are some of the security mechanisms. Now, this table shows you what are the different services we have and which mechanism we have to apply for which service. Now, for example, see here, if I am using peer entity authentication, we can apply a mechanism such as encipherment, digital signature, as well as authentication exchange. we apply more number of mechanism means we got more security. In similar way, if I want to need some confidentiality, in confidentiality, we have to apply a mechanism such as encipherment and routing control. If I want to apply some data integrity, I have to use encipherment, digital signature, as well as data integrity. Such type of mechanisms I can use for data integrity service. Now this table give you a brief idea to achieve which service, which mechanism I can use